Welcome back to the Halo Report with me, Courtney Kardashian. If you're just tuning in, we have an exclusive interview with JYD, aka Junkyard Dog, Jerome. What role did your family play in your success?
Wow, they played a huge role. I think that anyone trying to reach a level of success, such as making it to the NBA or their pinnacle of their dreams, it's hard to do it without family support. I was fortunate enough to have a very strong family, a supportive family. My mom and my dad, they were together, married, and we did things as a family. They taught me, the meaning of hard work. They always made sure that I was either looking for a job or had a job at a young age. So my basketball walk really was coupled with work, and that's why I could always apply the various levels as I got older. I was only going to get out of basketball what I put into it. So I think that's what fueled a lot of my early success, because I was really willing to put the time in.
Now, as a young child, who would you say were your role models?
Wow, I think that at a young age, Magic Johnson was my role model. I loved watching him play. My dad would take me to the games against the Washington Bullets, and I always wanted to see Magic. Then a guy by the name of Michael Jordan came along, and I saw his shoes. I didn't know who he was, but I knew that for some reason that particular day we went to the game, it was no parking, and it was sold out, and I had to figure out, wow, there's so many people here. And my dad kept saying, yeah, this new guy named Michael Jordan. And I was like, oh, who's that? I'm going to see Wes Unseld, whoever, was on the Bullets. So then when in layup lines, I just see these shoes, and I'm like, totally different from everybody else. I'm like, what kind of shoes are they? They look like spaceships. So he really kind of caught our attention as kids and really captivated us. And Michael Jordan, of course, everybody knows what he turned into as a basketball player. But strikingly, probably the most impactful person was Len Bias. Len Bias was a local star out of Maryland University, got drafted #1 by the Boston Celtics, and then died of a cocaine overdose 48 hours later. And that really was the influence of my life, of seeing someone local in our neighborhood that made it to his dreams and aspirations, and it was all cut short by a party and some drug use. So that impacted me, and I really stayed away from drugs and alcohol, because I just saw one of my idols just go down just like that, and he had the whole world waiting for his arrival in the NBA, and we never got a chance to see him play.
That was a very tragic story. So what would you tell a college student that is transitioning to the NBA, to the NFL, or just transitioning in their life? May that be a corporate job. What do you tell them to use their fame that they have from college or even in the pros to transition their lives into not the bright lights anymore?
Well, the one thing that transitions in not only from college but from sports is our team. When you go into the corporate world, it's just as gritty and grimy, if not more so, than a basketball court. You have to learn the art of teamwork, how you're gonna assist other people in moving up that corporate ladder, who are then gonna end up being able to pull you up. Because in the game of basketball, the ultimate goal is to have the most points at the end of the game. But everybody is not going to score the same number of points. So when you know your role on the team, so in the corporate world, you know your role and you're good at it, you'll be able to assist your other teammates in what their role is, and then ultimately the company grows and makes money, and then you guys move up. So it's the same mentality, I would say. That would be my advice to a college student. Go in with the same mentality. You're gonna have to work hard. You're gonna have to do those extra hours. You're gonna have to do a lot of the groundwork that freshmen do, that rookies do. Picking up coffee, doing, just doing the little things to bring the level of morale and everything up in the office or in that company, within that company, to make the company successful.
I want to talk a little bit about community. So I have a good friend, Wink Adams, former running rebel, and he's not in the league right now, but he played overseas for a little bit, but he's a big name in our community here in Vegas. So what advice do you give him in using his name, his brand in Las Vegas to help our community?
I remember Wayne played, on the New York Knicks team, summer league team, and he was a good point guard for the Running Rebels. I would say, tap into those resources, those alumni resources, in terms of who did you meet at the games and who was one of the fans who's a huge Running Rebel fan, and see how they are involved in the community, what charities they're involved in, and then try to assist those people, because they will help build your brand because they're already embedded within the community. So they would love to use a name like Wink, former star-studded UNLV Running Rebel, to go along with their business, their charity, and that's be the first piece of advice that I would give him, because he did do a good job while he was here with the Running Rebels.
Tell me about your charities and about how you stay involved in the community.
Well, I first started the JYD Project when I was in Detroit playing with the Pistons, and I've continued to try to tie my charity in with work that I do with kids with the county school system, so Clark County school system, the state of Nevada. Dropout rates across the country, as we know, are climbing, and it's always been my position that we have to motivate as many kids as possible to hang in there and stay in the game. The state of Nevada has a new program called Ready for Life. Kids do not graduate. It's a known fact, and statistics show us that a lot of them end up homeless, in prison, on drugs, on alcohol, and being a detriment to society, because they end up on welfare. They have to, get food stamps if they don't graduate from college, because they don't have the tools to perform in society, to be able to compete for the jobs that people who do graduate from high school, and then they're on the ones that go on to college, they're competing against those kids. So it's harder and harder for kids to be able to go into the workforce, and the JYD Project is our aim to actually help those kids, motivate them to stay in the game, stay in school, rely on your education, even if you don't plan on going to college, finish high school, because without high school, we're all gonna pay. Taxpayers are gonna pay, the community's gonna pay, and their personal life. There's been very few people who haven't graduated that have been successful. Are there a few? Yes, but there's far bigger numbers for the kids who don't graduate. Bad things happen.
Now I'm going to ask you to speak on a very touchy subject in our community, in the sports world. Pat Summitt, the most winningest coach in all of NCAA basketball, was diagnosed with pre-dementia. What are your thoughts and feelings, and do you have any thoughts and feelings to share with her and her loved ones and family?
Well, first of all, I wish her well, and pray for her family and herself. But the one thing that I can say about Pat Summitt is that she didn't become the winningest coach in college NCAA history without being a major motivator. And even in her time of her trials and tribulations of these early signs of dementia, she also came out with her statement saying, "I'm not dead. I'm gonna still be coaching. I'm still gonna be motivating my team to victory." And she's she's a fighter, and I think that that's more motivating than someone who gets diagnosed with something and then having to call it quits. Pat Summitt is not only a hero, before this announcement, but right now she just got catapulted to superhero status because of the fact that she's willing to combat a disease that a lot of Americans and people all over the world face.
Governor, thank you so much for joining us, JYD, here on the Halo Report with me, Courtney Kardashian. We're signing off with LOVE.